Welcome to the review of the Ducati Multistrada V4S. Now the 2025 model, it isn't vastly different to the 24, but it has got some nice little innovations, so let's run through them and talk you through this awesome adventure bike. Now engine wise, it is the V4 and I'm here in sport mode, and it's just got so much power at your fingertips. It almost feels like a super bike engine. Now going through the modes, we've got sport, we've got touring, enduro, urban mode and wet. So today we're going to be going through those. I'm going to be hitting the motorway at some point, putting it in touring mode, going off-road, sticking it in enduro, going through town. We use a bit of urban. It's a glorious day actually in England, so no need to use the wet mode. And then right now we'll keep her in sport. Now as you go through the modes, as soon as you select one, push the button and it will just say close throttle. As soon as you do that, the mode is engaged and you're off. Now the Multistrada for me is just such a plush, enjoyable adventure bike because it's got all the bells and whistles when it comes to staying comfortable. You've got heated hand grips, even a heated seat, which is pure luxury. Where it really excels for me over any other adventure bike is its capabilities on the road, because it's really an awesome bike in the corners. As you can see, easy to maneuver, a really easy bike to get through the corners, provides you with loads of confidence, and it really just holds the road incredibly well. It's just very comfortable as well. I'm in a very neutral riding position. I haven't got hardly any weight on my wrists. It's a very comfortable bike to sit on, to have between my legs. These roads are very unpredictable, as you can see, loads of bumps all over the place, and the suspension just soaks it up incredibly well. Potholes everywhere and I can just skip across it. Now when it comes to the suspension, there is some adjustability, and for a rider like myself with fairly short legs, it's got the beautiful lowering device as you come to a stop. Oh, look at this, road closed. Okay, we'll go this way. So we'll just open the gas. Wow, this bike just takes off. A really windy day here. Hopefully that's not affecting the mic too much. Typical Yorkshire weather. A nice day, but it's blowing a gale. The adjustment on this windscreen is just here in the middle. Just pull this up or push it down. Really simple. I've got it as low as it can at the moment, but I've had it nice and high on the motorway, on the freeway. The V4 can be a bit hot, it can be a bit thirsty at times, especially on the Panigale. But Ducati this year, they say it's 6% better fuel consumption, and a lot of that is because at low speeds and at the traffic lights, this bike automatically, even though it's a V4, just goes onto 2 cylinders. Really clever. So when you're just idling, you put it in neutral, it straight away starts to use less fuel, and then that's also less heat for the engine. It's also got a dual linked braking system. For me, I'm old school, so I don't usually like a linked system. You can get rid of the rear in enduro mode so that you can actually skid the bike around a bit and play around with the rear, but it in the rest of the modes, when you're applying the rear brake, it'll also automatically apply some front, and also vice versa. When you're hard on the front brake, it'll start to apply some rear. That's taken a little bit of getting used to for me, but it's safer for riders, it's safer application, so you just don't put too much strain on one brake and then lock it up. I've learned to ride a motorcycle without ABS first, and so for me it always feels a little bit odd when I get that sensation back through, especially the front brake lever, that I've got some pressure on the front brake lever even though I'm only using the rear. But this bike hasn't done anything untoward. It's always felt super planted, and the braking system has just really inspired me with confidence. Like here, I'm just going to apply the rear brake, but I'm getting some sensation back through the front. Now when I picked this bike up, it came with all panniers, side panniers and a top box, and I was able to cram everything in it to go to the Isle of Man, so you can really pack your bike up. These panniers are well made, very good seal on them, because I went through some torrential rain and I was expecting at least some puddling in them, because it was absolutely terrible weather. I didn't even get one drop inside my panniers, which is just amazing. Now up here on your handlebars, you've got lots of buttons. Sometimes I almost feel like it's too much, but let's run through them. On my right here, I've got the button for all of my heated system on the bike, and that's grips and seat. So I can just scroll through them, and out of all of the heated hand grips I've ever used on any motorcycle, Ducati are the best and the hottest. I don't know how they do it, but they do a great job of really just keeping your hands warm. You've also got these hand guards as well to protect your hands. Those have definitely helped also, especially in those rainy, windy, cold conditions. A very clear TFT display where you can read all of the information. You've got your gears, you've got information for your suspension, miles per hour, fuel consumption, range, everything that you probably need and more. So you've also got cruise control, and with cruise control you've also got a system on the bike with a radar detection system at the front and at the back. Now from that, it means that you can't get too close to a vehicle when you're in cruise control. It automatically senses a vehicle and keeps that distance. And then at the rear and around the motorcycle, you've also got detections which come up here on the turn signals and the mirror, which gives you a bit of indication, and that's a blind spot detector. Right, in sport mode, we can get away from the traffic and really open this bike. I absolutely love it. Look at it pull up here, just flying. And it's not the smoothest road, but the suspension you can just feel is working really, really well. There's no adventure bike that rides like the Multistrada. Ducati just do such a great job of the balance of the bike. And the engine, wow. Down through the modes, into enduro, click that, close the throttle and brakes. And now rear ABS is off. Yep. And we're in enduro mode. So look at this, we were just able to go straight away off-road. Not too hardcore, but just simple off-road stuff, and the suspension is just soaking this up so easily. Now I haven't got really the most hardcore off-road tyres on this bike, so you got to be a little careful. It's not like I've got knobbies on or anything. I've just got road tyres with probably around about really 30% kind of off-road capability. It's more of a road tyre than an off-road tyre. I wouldn't be really taking this bike off-road if it was muddy and slimy, because I've just not got the right tyres for those kind of conditions. Now I'm able to just stand up on the pegs, throw the bike between my legs, and that's what you need to do off-road, is just get up on the pegs every now and again so you don't fall into those holes. You can just bend your knees and you can take that weight off your backside really. But look at this, I'm riding a off-road, same motorcycle, just a different mode, and now I'm doing a bit of off-roading. So What an awesome bike for that. If you've never ridden off-road, don't start off on a huge motorcycle like this, because you won't get much confidence from it. Start off on something smaller. But if you've got a bit of off-road experience, this sort of stuff is fairly easy. I don't even find like I've got really too much power in off-road mode, because I'm only really using a tiny bit of it here. I'm just burbling below 4,000 RPM. Right, it looks like I'm coming to the end of this trail here. Back onto the street, close the throttle, and now we're in urban mode. Now, like I said earlier, Ducati have saved some fuel and problems with the engine getting too hot by just allowing the bike to go onto 2 cylinders when you're going really slowly. It's very smooth. It's actually very hard to detect when it goes on to 2 cylinders and when it goes back to 4. You can actually hear it if I come to a stop. If I come to a stop here in first gear, put it into neutral, it's very hard to detect. So it does that very smoothly. Alrighty then, so as promised, we're going to go on the motorway and just show you what this bike's capabilities are when you're just cruising long distances. I'll just pull the windscreen up nice and tall. That just sends the wind right over my head. Here I'm in touring mode, so it's just a case of selecting touring mode, pressing the button, closing the throttle, and your mode's selected. Now I'm also going to use cruise control, and cruise control on the motorway also works right alongside all of the radar devices that it's got. So this is a strict 50, so I might as well start there really. So we'll start at 50 miles an hour. Now it's just cruising along at 50, but look, in front of me there's people braking, slowing down, but I'm still cruising at 50. Now as I approach this truck and it senses that I'm getting closer, the bike's slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, and really just keeping me at a distance. Now I can go down the gears, but look what happens here. As the truck gets out of the way, I just pick up speed again and start closing that distance down to the vehicle in front. So really impressive that it's got this radar system on it that just kind of stops you running into some traffic if you weren't paying attention. Now of course we're all going to be paying attention while we're riding a motorcycle. See here also you've got a blind spot detector in both of these corners, one on the left, one on the right. It's easy to miss a blind spot, it really is, and something in your blind spot can lead to a lot of trouble if you were to just turn into it. So the blind spot detectors, I do like those. Also, forget to mention the awesome quick shifter that it's got on this motorcycle, so you really just don't have to chop the throttle at all, just keep throwing gears at it. So we'll just cruise, set the speed limit for 70, which is the British speed limit on the motorway, and look at that, effortless. I can now just relax my fingers, relax my hands even more. I know I've got that radar detection system which is going to stop me running into something. It'll even brake and go down gears if you get there kind of too quickly. So very impressive. And like I said, as I pull out in front of this car, it then senses that I've got more distance and it just picks up speed automatically. Here we go, look at that blind spot detector. I was just about to pull out. I now know there's a car there. Now we're clear. Pull out into the outside lane. Senses there's no traffic in front of me or it's going quicker, so I pick up my speed. I just enjoy clicking by miles. It doesn't matter which miles I'm doing. Canyon miles, motorway miles. Very comfortable motorcycle to sit on. It's a very enjoyable motorcycle to sit on because, like I said, the input that you have to put into this motorcycle to get it to do what you want is really minimal. For a big motorcycle like this, that's impressive because it just doesn't feel big and heavy, even though the motorcycle is pretty big and heavy. it's light on its feet, and I love that. So it's a good cruiser, it's a good tourer, it's definitely a good canyon carver. So overall, this motorcycle ticks so many boxes. If I've got any kind of like problems with the bike, it's probably just the noise that you get from the plastics or the panniers that move around a bit at the back when you're in off-road mode. That's the only time I even feel that. I never really hear it on the road, I never hear it on the motorways, I never hear any of the creaking and squeaking that you do here when you take a bike off-road. But that's probably because, you know, the panniers at the back are actually made to move, so there's some movement there in the side panniers, and then also there's some of the plastic work around here and the windscreen and whatnot that definitely makes a bit of noise off-road. But other than that, I haven't really got much bad things to say about this bike because I just love it. It's a great motorcycle. Ooh, look at that. Bacon butty van. Ooh, that smells grand. Oh, we've got a bunch of Harleys here, that'll be interesting. I can just probably squirt by these guys, but don't want to upset them. Come on boys, you can get by this car. Alright, they're going for it, so why would you pick there to overtake a car? I have no idea. Couldn't even see around the corner. What a great motorcycle. Now look at that for a view. Grand, eh?